Hey everybody, welcome. It's Friday on Going Optimal. I got a black background right now because Arena is actually starting up behind me. There it is. We've got a little update that we're doing today before we actually do our play. But it doesn't even matter how far behind Arena is at the moment because we're actually taking our drafting over to MTGAdraft.tk, which is where we draft on Fridays. It's a Gauntlet day around here where I battle chat. And in order to pull that off, we battle on a third-party website created by our friend Senryoku. And it's a way to draft on a website, export your deck over to Arena, and then battle in Arena using the friend challenge system. It's a great way to get practice in. Great way. Yeah, if you need a community of drafters drafting this way, you're going to want to join the Going Optimal Discord, and then you can find a lot of other people using this service as well. If you're into sealed, you only need one other person. Just find another person, fire off a sealed deck, and get 6 boosters, build them up, and then go battle in Arena. And if you have the cards, it's free. There's no gold, no gems needed. You just need wild cards and or a decent collection. I'm at the point already where I believe, like, I rarely even need to craft now. Sometimes there's mystical archive cards that if I want, I need to craft. But for the most part, I'm at least at the place where all of my limited play on MTGA Draft doesn't even require wild cards anymore. So it's a really effective way to squeeze extra value out of your Magic experience, just like shopping at cardkingdom.com, my sponsor. You're going to squeeze a ton of value out of Magic if you start engaging with them. Especially like, I have a lot of limited players around here. If you are a limited player who plays paper maybe off and on sparingly, you don't really have a collection you care about or anything, but you do have cards, remember that you can ship those back to Card Kingdom for a 30% store credit bonus, which you can then use. You know, I always talk up singles and how I bling out my cube and I reserve cards that I might want from them for later or whatever. But remember, you can get sealed product too. You can just start selling back your draft rares, your draft chase cards, and build up credit. And then suddenly you'll find yourself basically getting a free box of Magic because you've built up so much credit that you can just pre-order a full box of the new set and be set to do some drafting at home or sealed or whatever. So keep that in mind, as the cycle of life of Magic can be difficult to manage sometimes, but Card Kingdom has a lot of tools to help you do that. And if you check them out via my panels down below in the notes of the YouTube video or in the chat link, it'll get you there from here and let them know that you're supporting them because you support me, and it helps keep me on the air. Thanks. Now we're going to hop over, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about over here. Here's our left monitor view. Got our pod waiting, and it looks like everybody's ready here. Oh, no, we got 7 of 8. Let's see. Is it not me? It's not me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so we got one more. There we go. Here's Radian. Or whoever it was who, maybe it wasn't Radianware, but somebody slipped in. Chill Fox, maybe. Hello. Anyway, this is the site. It's highly functional. It may not be the prettiest thing you've ever seen, but I don't care. It's not about pretty. It's about providing the most incredible draft service I could ask for in terms of saving some gems. And really, one thing I love about this is how it lets us play in pod. There's not really a way on Arena to draft and play in pod natively, but this allows us to draft and play against the people we drafted with, which is a fun thing to be able to do. Old school classic Magic drafting. I'm good to go, Hat. Let's see if the rest of the gang is here, and we'll get the drafting on. We're in a spot with this set. You know, you're primarily in one of the 5 colleges. Of course, you can splash. You can pull off the Sam Black from the Sweatsuit Invitational last night and go 5-color, no environmental sciences, and and try and make it work. So there are some alternate strategies besides just the 5 core colleges, but I'm generally looking to get into a good college and stick with it. So let's see what we've got on that front here. What do we like? We've got Mage Hunter's Onslaught as really the only piece of removal here. And Introduction to Prophecy could be a better place to start in terms of staying completely wide open. Right? Counterspell in the Mystical Archive slot is fine, but not necessarily a first pick here. I think it's just Onslaught or its Introduction. These are the only 2 that even really rise up for me. The Professor is interesting, but nothing. I like a Masterpiece. I like a Serpentine Curve, but not starting there. So probably on Onslaught to start, narrowly overstaying wide open with the Prophecy. If this were maybe like Introduction to Annihilation or Environmental Sciences, I would go for that instead, but I'll start with the colored card here. Yeah, exactly, Krauser. If it was just a little bit better, colorless, wide open, I would take it, but Prophecy is pretty clunky. Let's see who we're passing to. We are shipping to Radianware, and DT76 is passing to us. Killin in the pack. Hello, Killin. Having taken a black card, I'm going to find it pretty hard to pass Killin. Loving the Pilgrim here. Loving a return pass caller. Not in the best college, but maybe the best reason to be in it. Combat Professor, excellent. Lash of Malice, really nice. A lot of 2 toughness in the format. A lot of 1 toughness in the format. Lash tends to get its mark, you know? It kills something good. But I'm taking Killin. See if we can make that our plan. Passing a lot of good cards for this archetype, the Silver Quill. 1, 2, 3, 4, arguably 5 actively desirable playables for the deck, and even a splashable pass caller. I mean, white, splash red. I'm not going to take the pass caller, but it's the type of card you would splash in a deck like this. Yeah, rare is missing, right? So it just is presumably some sweet rare or mythic. The best colleges, in my opinion, well, I still think the best college is the one that nobody else is drafting. The nature of a 5 college affair with 8 drafters is that on average, 3 are going to be drafted twice and 2 are going to be drafted once, right? 2 colleges have 1 drafter and 3 colleges have 2 drafters. And if that's the situation, then I'm hoping to just be in one of the ones that I'm the only one. We can just take another Onslaught. Umbral Juke, maybe a little bit better even. Expel, strong as well. Trudge, love the Trudge. Trudge is at its best in Witherbloom because there's just so much incidental life gain in Witherbloom that you're always getting the Trudge back, but there's plenty of life gain even in white-black as well. So Trudge is a defensible pick. I'm still on Juke, though. Anybody disagree? Where's anybody else at on this? Anybody taking something besides the Juke? I think it's like Juke or Trudge over a second Onslaught or a worse removal spell and Expel. The Wrangler, interesting. I think the Wrangler has underperformed for me. Like, you need to kind of fire it off twice before you feel you've gotten good value out of it, and that just is a stretch. I'll take the Juke, but if you're on something else, I don't blame you. There's a lot of good options here. Here's that Quintorius saying, hey, you could get into good old Lorehold, and it's not going to suck. There's Urza's Rage, suggesting that could be a reason to head that direction too. This is an interesting spot. I mean, we got 3 cards towards a very nice Silver Quill deck, but there's nothing here amazing for Silver Quill, not even the Silver Quill card. Expel, probably the best, or maybe even just the Campus. But Urza's Rage is is powerful. Quintorius is reasonable if you... It's a build around powerful. Quintorius is not just randomly powerful. It's very much build around powerful, but is powerful when you do that. Shane, thank you for the gift subs. Look at that. That's so kind of Shane. A little thank you to me for participating in that show, but I just had a great time. It was a lot of fun. So anyway, do we take Rage or do we just stick with the plan? Yeah, we could spec on Quint. But if we're gonna take a red card, I think I just want the Rage. And I think that's where I'm gonna take it. We'll just hedge towards Rage. This is a very good card to still be here. Ooh, Rise Vexus still here. That's a nice one. And not much else here either. And it works even if we were to end up in Lorehold. What do you mean, Happy Problems? What show is this? What are we talking about? Oh, the Dive Down podcast. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm with you now. We did a little trigger for that. Which type of draft on Arena has the best value? Oh man, Orange is hitting all of my wheelhouse topics, some of which I haven't touched on in a long while. But the bottom line, Orange, is that it depends on your win rate. I always tell people, though, that it ends up being close enough overall that I strongly just recommend that people play the way they want to play. Seek your fun and worry about the nominal value differences less. But if you're hyper concerned about nominal value differences, I have a spreadsheet that can help you figure it out based on your win rate. I think I'm just on Lash. Shadewing Laureate is appealing because it's obviously in the Silver Quill, which we are, and there's a Silver Quill Pledge Mage too. But this is really this is a really weird design. I really don't like this design. Maybe they felt power level like this. They didn't want to give Silver Quill more power, but I really want these weird looking, uncommon college cards to really slam home what that college is doing and be really good. And I just don't think that this does that. Like, what the heck does... I mean, I guess it's +1/+1 counters, so it is pointing at that a little bit, but like... When a creature you control with flying dies, you get a counter? What the heck is that, Wizards? Why make this card for that slot? Do something more Silver Quill here. But I'm taking Lash. I'm taking Lash. Yeah, Inklings fly. I guess that's a... Yeah, sure. But come on. That is pretty... I mean, so when you think Silver Quill, you think Flyers, right? You think Flyers when you think Silver Quill? I do not, myself. I'm going to take this removal spell. Happy to get it pick 8. I think or pick 7. We're in a good lane, obviously. All right, well, maybe it's just me. I don't think evasive Flyers when I think Silver Quill. I think Killin-based, ground-based... aggressive fun police. Well, I guess Wizards nailed it and I'm the dummy then. Because apparently chat is all about Silver Quill is the totally just flying. Silver Quill flying. Match made in heaven. Crushing Disappointment. I do not see the promise in this Dusk Mage myself. Star Pupil seems pretty medium as well, although it could fit into a attempt at curve out approach to this color pair, but I think I like a first crushing disappointment here. I feel like if Silver Quill were, to me, the flying color, there would be better 2-drop flyers besides Poet and the 1/2. Pillar Drop Rescuer, that's a pretty good flyer. I'm in for that. We could also take the Pledge Mage, but I'm not sure. What do you think? Do you like a first Rescuer or first Pledge Mage? Basically nice and colorless for us. And hey, look, it flies. Yeah, let's take the cheaper one. It's a good metric anyway. If you're struggling between 2 picks, go with the less expensive one. Wow, Lash comes back around, Combat Prof comes around, and Pilgrim comes around. Do we have the right lane? Anybody? Are we in the right lane? Holy heck. I want all 3 of these badly. What the heck? Yeah, I guess I'll take the Prof, but you say Prof on the wheel, I say Pilgrim on the wheel, I say Lash on the wheel, I say what a wheel. All right, we'll take Prof. I think it's Prof, Lash, Pilgrim. That's how I have them, but I want all 3 of them. The Trudge comes back as well. We were seriously considering that first time around in this pack. I think I'm going to take the Rage out right now in the sense that I feel like we have really found an open color pair, and we're going to just try and 2-color it here. Help! It's too beautiful. I want the Campus, I want the Expel. What are we doing? Essence Infusion even is maybe a consideration, but really it's these 2. I think I want Campus. It's really close. Robert says easy Campus. I don't think it's easy. I think Expel's pretty good. But because we have Juke, Lash, and double Onslaught, I'm going to take the Fixing. Also, we seem to be in an open enough color that we're not going to be short on playables either. Defiance, playable, but we're not looking to. We'll see. Duress has been better in the format because of Learn. Like you can main deck a Duress in a way you couldn't in other formats, simply because in the mid to late game, you're often going to get a chance to Duress a learned spell out of their hand. Now, maybe that's like a half. It's not a 1-for-1. It's like a half for 1 because they presumably played something else to make that happen. Scholar of Sparks. Is this one less to cast? Well, looks like it could be interesting, but I'm not going to bother with that. We're going to stick to where we're looking good. And I like Expanded Anatomy, Arrogant Poet, or Necrotic Fumes. Really with, I was on Fumes, but it might even wheel with the way people have been playing. And also, Necrotic Fumes is really at its best in Witherbloom. Not that you can't make pests in Silver Quill, but really I think of Necrotic Fumes as a pest-based card. And Expanded Anatomy is going to be good in just kind of an aggressive, like, Anatomy and Killin for 1 mana. Anybody? Sounds good. Again, chat is telling me, no, Silver Quill does make me think flying, and that's another reason Anatomy is the pick here for me. We do expect to have some Air Force going by the end of this thing, and Anatomy on flyers is extra excellent. Do we have Learn right now? I don't think so. We haven't found any Learn yet. Oh, we have Rise. We have Rise. Would like to see Study Break. Study Break would be a good card for this deck. Guiding Voice would be even better. Would even take Gain Life Learn, but Study Break and Guiding Voice are what the deck really wants to see. Yeah, Hunt as well. Good call. Or Professor of Symbology. How about that? My goodness. Again, I want all of this. I want this Lash. I want another Expanded Anatomy. I want this Pilgrim. I want this Shade Wing. I want another Combat Prof. But we're going to take Professor of Symbology and wheel something great out of this. I wonder if a pack like this is going to... Like, I feel like we're the only Silver Quill drafter, but I wonder if we will be by the end of this pack. I'm taking Prof for sure. Combat Professor is great, but Symbology Professor fits in a slot in our curve that needs some help right now and gives us Learn, which we don't have enough of right now. I think it's a pretty easy slam dunk Professor of Symbology for me. Which is saying something, because look at the power that I left behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks that I would love to include. I don't think we're a Tendrils deck, although, I don't know, maybe... You know what's not in front of me right here, but is not empty? My coffee cup. Now, it is almost empty. It's almost empty, but my brain knows the difference between my coffee cup being empty and almost empty. All right, Study Break is what we were asking for. I also like Ingredient, Assistant, Rise. Zephyr Boots could be good to get some stuff off the ground and finish off an opponent. And Spiteful Squad. I like it against big ground stuff, but if you're not facing that, it's pretty underwhelming. Anyway, Study Break pretty easy for me. But my brain knew that somewhere in the house was a sip of coffee to finish off. Maybe 2 or 3. Moving the counters can be good. I've also had spots, though, where I've had to play Spiteful Squad onto an empty board, knowing that if Oppo had removal, they could really take that away. It's got a floor I don't like. The floor of that card is pretty rough. Wow, we're just getting choice after choice. Like, this is a tough draft to navigate, not because we're not getting there, but because every pack is offering us such excellent choices, which is a good thing, but it also means other people are getting the stuff we're not taking. We don't have Orator Enablers yet, but I do think it's the pick here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of removal already. True, you think it's Thunderous Orator not close? Just to make sure we're on the same page. I feel like we really need some 2s, so I think it's pretty straightforward for me to take this. But just making sure that I'm on the same page with True. The removal is tempting, but we got that covered. We need the job of 2-drops filled. Sometimes your Sophie's choice is between ice cream and cake, you know? The good kind of Sophie's choice. We need somebody else besides Sophie. Whose choice is the good one? Sophie had a crappy choice. Well, another interesting choice for us, Guiding Voice or another Orator. What are we doing? I really want this Guiding Voice, but another Orator? We did pick up some other learning. We have 3 learning spells now with Rise, Professor, and Break. I think we take another Orator. This is great, but I really want these 2s filled. Hammer wants the Guiding Voice. That was a close one, man. We don't have a ton of lessons, but you don't... I mean, heck, we only have the one. No, wait, didn't we get another one? I thought we got another kind of lesson. Did we not? Are we on 1 lesson? Yeah, well, that's a constant tension in this set, is making sure you have both the density of lessons and learning. But with the way things are going and the openness of our lane, I think we're going to be able to pick up what we need to based on need. Sorry, Robert, if that was offensive. I was too soon. Always too soon. Flunk. We're just going to flunk this. I mean, we have a lot of removal, but that seems like the best removal left in the pack. There's another Rise. But also got to look out for lessons as observed. We really don't have a ton of lessons. Yeah, let's take the flunk. Instant speed, cheap removal. And it's got a meme. Cram session. It's only pack 2. So again, we still have time to find our lessons. We could take a 2-mana learning or a go blank. Go blank doesn't suck. It's just a little weird. It's like not... I mean, it can be fine in aggro to strip out their cards and try to get them, but I think I'd rather just have cram session. I'm not on the pupil though. Let's take the cram session. I'm not going to do memes mid-draft because I have to switch back to my other view. Can't do it from this scene, but I'll hold that to request there, Robert. Silverquill Campus, or some of these here lessons we've been talking about. Probably just need to take Intro to Prof. We have 1 campus already, and if we're looking to be low down curve, we probably don't want too many ETB tapped anyway. So I think I'm on Intro over Reduced to Memory, which I've found to be too harsh in its, like, I almost want to be doing this to my own stuff. Like, a 3/2 red and white spirit creature token is such a card. It's like giving your opponent a real card for free to get rid of their important thing. I just find the cost of this to be too harsh. It really wears away at the value of that. So I'm going to take Introduction to Prof so we have something to do with all the learning we've picked up. Besides Rummage. I want that campus though. I definitely play a second, maybe even a third, depending on how we're looking curve wise. Poet coming back is great though. Helps keep us keep our 2s going. You can make an argument for the 5-drop. We don't even have any yet. And getting Killin or Orator back would be nice. Well, maybe we do. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. But really, 4 creatures isn't that much. So I like the Pillar drop okay, but I'm taking the Poet. I really want more 2-drop, 2-power creatures. And here's this pack that we knew we were going to get something back from, and we have to decide whether we like the Pilgrim for the recursion and the guaranteed land drops, or the, basically for us, colorless flyer. I'm not truly colorless. It does mean white and black. Yeah, I think I'm on Pilgrim over Laureate. Don't you agree? Like, again, this is fine. Yeah, that's true. We do have 2 Orators. That's a fine point. That these like to fly, so this would help the Orators fly. Yeah, I'm doing this on the strength of that. I do love a Pilgrim, but I think the synergy with the double Orator is good. And by the way, where is Matt around? He must be. Oh man, another good one to choose between. Maybe boots. Get some boots on the ground. Over, we can biblioplex our removal back though, and also add a flyer. Maybe it's just the inherent flyer over the thing that makes flyers. Yeah, let's take the assistant. This is a great looking deck for end of pack 2. We're almost at a complete deck. I was saying something and now I completely forgot what I was saying. Oh well. Well, it looks like, is anybody playing Lorehold? I don't know. We're going to take a gambit and we'll see. Don't think we need it, though. Oops. Pigment Storm being here says red is just not really being drafted. This Devastating Mastery is... I mean, we can play it. It's castable in our deck. But I'm going to cut Pigment Storm from somebody else. And none of these really matter. Well, I guess Teach by Example could end up in some Prismari deck last pick. Yeah, we really want a summoning, right? There's an Umbral Juke. Here's a Spirit Summoning we could grab. Hunt for Specimens. Another Learn card. But I think that we have one Juke already. I like adding a second over a Spirit Summoning. If this were the Inkling Summoning, I would take it. But Spirit Summoning as a 1 white spell is... can take a back seat there. Well, Juke is not an Inkling Summoning in the sense that we cannot fetch it out of our sideboard with a Learn spell, but I hear you. Oh, I was going to tell Matt, if Matt is here, I did not use your Thunderous Orator meme, because I didn't, maybe I don't get it. You have to, like, why is that character in that scene a Thunderous Orator? But maybe I don't know that movie well, so maybe I'm only going to use your other 13. I'm sorry, Prof. We're going to wheel anything out of this pack? I mean, if you want to give me a Hunt for Specimens, I would take it. I don't think I'm taking a Stonerise Spirit if it comes back. Although, again, with the... I'm trying to open my mind. Luis likes the Stonerise Spirit if you're doing the thing where you're, like, expanded anatomying it or whatever. So, there are reasons to play that card. We'll see. We have another Study Break. We have a Shield Mage. I feel like I take a Study Break. And then we wheel Pledge Mage or Shield Mage. So... yeah, I'm on study break number 2 here, and I'm thinking we're the only... again, I think we were the only Silver Quill drafter, but there's so much Silver Quill was going around, it would not surprise me if somebody jumped ship and joined us in this college. But I'm going to make an effort to wheel one of this trio. Something of these 3 is going to come around, and I'll be happy with any of them. You like the bird? That's fair. I'm into the Study Break. Study Break has really impressed me. Here's that Inkling Summoning we wanted. And maybe we wheel another Pilgrim, a Rise. All these Rises, we got to remember that there's a million Rises in this draft. People hit 6 mana with white or black, expect a Rise. Yeah, we love the summoning. We were happy to see it. Mortality Spear is an interesting splash idea, but again, we're such in a solid lane, we don't need to splash. We have 1 Rise, yes. We have 1 Rise. Wouldn't mind a second, but also we are doing a nice job of keeping this low down and dirty. I like this curve. Although, don't be fooled, there's a lot of stuff in the 2-drop column that's not really a 2-drop. Yeah, sure. Put something in the board. It was close. We have one Pledge Mage, and I think we might end up wheeling that other one. Again, like the fact that the Pledge Mage and the Owl were in the same pack makes me feel like we're going to wheel one of them, even if there is another Silver Quill drafter. I just feel like Pledge Mage and the Owl are so Silver Quilly that we're going to get one of them back. Another Study Break showing up makes me somewhat wish we had taken a different card. But that's hindsight. I really am happy to have 2 Study Breaks and didn't know that there was going to be another one coming. I'm going to take a Leech Fanatic now to continue filling out playable 2-power 2-drops. And Leech Fanatic is actually nice to have given we picked up this kind of free Trudge. Yep, good point, Mike. Orators like the Leech, gives them lifelink as well. How much do we think about the cogwork for a top of our curve? I would rather, top it out with more Rise of Exodus or whatever, but it's not impossible. I just don't think it's what our deck is doing. Heck, we probably barely want the Rise, given it's the rest of our deck tops at 4, and then we got this Rise saying, hello! Another flyer or more removal. I'm kind of liking the another flyer. I do like a lash. We have passed a lot of lashes as well. But we just have a lot of removal in this deck. So I'm going to take the thing we're missing, which is closers. Prismari. Look at this pick 3, pick 5 Prismari Dragon. So it seems like there's no Prismari drafters for quite a ways passing to us. But that's something. We're going to take the flyer we can cast and worry about the Prismari deck. What are y'all drafting? Because our lane is open, but then Prismari is here 5 picks in. I don't understand what's going on. That's true. Rise is only 4 with Killin out. It's one of Killian's sicko combos. And more interesting choices for us. We have a Spectre of the Fens, which is where I'm leaning. Hunt for Specimens is fine. Unwilling Ingredient, fine. Stonerise Spirit is trying to impress me, and others are saying it's fine. But I think Spectre is actively good. We're going to take that. Yeah, Menace for the Orators, not bad. Don't we have that? Killian's going to do that. Don't worry. Three lessons. Okay, feel good that we have 3 lessons. Wouldn't if a good lesson happens to show up here, I would take it. Although at pack 3, pick 6, pick 7 coming up, not expecting it. No lesson, but an interesting choice. We've got our first Shield Mage or second Pilgrim. Oh no, first Pilgrim. We didn't take. I think I take Pilgrim now. What do you think, Pilgrim or Owl? We don't have a Pilgrim yet. No, I like the Owl a lot. I'm really high on the Pilgrim. I think the Pilgrim is amazing. But I think the fact that I think this is close is a expression of my admiration for the Pilgrim, not any kind of feeling the Shield Mage isn't good. Yeah, that's fair. If we had more going on at the top end, Pilgrim would be more appealing, so we'll take the Owl. Fractal Summoning is indeed a late lesson, but not one that we're ever going to cast. Am I playing a Stonerise Spirit? I don't think Stonerise Spirit is making the cut here in these twos. I mean, I hear what you're saying, that it's not unplayable or anything, but are we... I almost would rather cut a card from an opponent, like a Snakeskin Veil with all of our removal. Let's get that out of this. Yeah. I'm going to take the Veil, cut it from a green drafter. Hey, Viscan. Yep. We opened on an Onslaught, second picked a Killin, and then kind of never looked back. The lane was open. I think we third picked a Juke, and then Silvercool was just open the whole draft. Although less open now. Again, I think maybe somebody moved in. We'll have to ask our competitors and see. But a hunt here is great. It's going to oust the cram session, basically. Enthusiastic Study still being here continues to show that red was also pretty wide open here. Was it Next Pack that had a bunch of stuff that might wheel? I think Next Pack had like the trio of cards I was expecting to have access to. Either an Owl or a Pledge Mage is what I'm hoping for. How about both? How about all three? These are the exact three cards I was saying. I hope one of these comes back. Now what? I'm thinking another Pledge Mage over another Owl. Although second Owl as a, curve, we don't have much of a top end. 2 Owls and a Rise at the top end seems fine. If we're going to play 17 anyway, I think I'll take Owl. I think Ingredient is third place for me. Anybody on Pledge Mage over Owl? I'm going to take the Owl. Because I kind of want to run 7 anyway. Swim down once, the Ingredient 2. I'm on the Owls. And look, I got my Pilgrim anyway. We can take a Village Rites if we think that's where we're at. Wouldn't suck to have some more card draw, but we do have a Crushing Disappointment. I take Pilgrim, since we did get Shield Mage number 2, and we want to play the Rise. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. That could go on my spell it list. I have a reasonably long playlist of songs that spell words in the lyrics. Rare draft. I don't want to have to eliminate this from my pile. I'll take a Mentor's Guidance to cut it from somebody. Only a couple of lessons. We only ended up with 3 lessons, but they're pretty solid ones. We have the Summoning we really wanted, Prophecy, which we accepted, and an Anatomy, which we really wanted. We may end up leaning a little bit on... Oh, Lash, hello! Lash comes back, and here's an ingredient for you. Boy, we got some cuts, gang. This is a heck of a deck. Heck of a deck looking for cuts, and it's gonna be... They're gonna be tough to find, really. Wowie. I like our deck, gang, and I don't even know what to do. I think we start with an assistant cutting the assistant. I'm going to cut this just to see my overall count. I think I'm going to cut the ingredient. Let's put all of our learning over here so we understand that suite. Am I missing any learning? Probably not playing that. Not good enough. You like cutting the Trudge? I guess we're not gaining a ton of life, but we are gaining a bit. We have Leech Fanatic and Killin. And Silverquill Pledge Mage can gain some life too. Spectre. So there are significant numbers of ways to get the trudge back. But cuts need to be made, so that's fair. All right, I'll cut the trudge. Do we cut one of these lesson spells? We could cut a hunt for specimens if we felt that we were doing fine on our cards we want to play on 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 2-drop creatures that we're happy with. Yeah, I think this can go here. Again, something's gotta give, and that seems like one of the weaker things we have going, and we don't have a ton of lessons, so we want to choose our studying carefully. See the rest of the table? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Cut both the 5s? You could maybe talk me off of 1 shield mage, but we only have 3 lessons, so that's one reason I'm cutting a learn spell. But the thing with learn is that you can rummage, so it's never like totally dead unless you don't have a card in hand. Yeah, maybe I'm clinging to the Pilgrim too much, but I do like it given that we did add a 5 and a 6. But that's fair. All right, we'll cut the Pilgrim, and then we're so close. Let me look at our... I love the flexibility of the Juke. I would rather almost cut an Onslaught than a Juke, and I think the Jukes get better in multiples. Only 13 creatures plus the Jukes and the any other token making. Cut a Lash. I almost would rather cut an Onslaught, but Onslaught's been very good, no doubt. 4s are Combat Professor, Spectre, Crushing Disappointment. We have so much removal, I like the Crushing Disappointment as well. We're best of 1. We could go 16, but we don't have an Environmental Sciences or anything. Game logs. Robert wants to see game logs. I'm not going to look at the game logs right now, but interesting feature. All right. I'm going to cut a Windrake. Yeah, right. We could bring in the Pilgrim to go to 16 and cut something else. Darn it. I'm close, gang. This is a tough final cut. You have 41 card special. Pour one out for Jay Schneider's style. Krauser still wants to cut a Lash. I just like these so much. Oh, they're so good on turn 3, playing a 2-drop and lashing something. You want the Disappointment gone? Well, you want to cut Disappointment for a Pilgrim and then just run it at 16. Mike wants to cut Rise. It is the clunkiest of the clunk. We could cut Rise and put back Pilgrim and run 15 or run 16. What do you think of this? I still, I don't know if it's insane to cut the Rise, but I'm looking at it. I'm kind of with Crawla on insane to cut Rise. So I think I'm just going to go like this. like this. There's a suggestion to cut one of the air elementals. We could do that. They're kind of whatever. Why is it insane? Well, just because it's such a powerful card. I mean, it exiles, it gives a lesson, and we do have a Killin that makes it in cheap. Like, if you can do this for 4, it's busted. But let's back off from the word insane. It's a reasonable suggestion, but it's also reasonable to say Rise is so good, I'm reticent to cut it, right? Let's drop words like insane and say, no, there's a debate to be had there that's legit. And I like cutting a Shade Wing before cutting an Owl, honestly. Let's try this. I'm going to try this, see how it goes. Let's get playing. I'm taking too long. We can revisit all of these debates after a game or two, but let's see how it goes. If we're that angsty, or if I am, about exactly what to cut, it's a good sign. It means the deck's going to be fine either way. The exact EV difference between whatever cuts we're making is ultimately going to be pretty small, I think. Oh yeah, Campus, thank you. I'll get that taken care of. Oh, good old deck limits. That. Looks like they fixed it so that your lessons make it into the right place in the sideboard for best of 3. Wasn't automatically doing that before, or at least I couldn't figure it out anyway. And then, not going to forget Mama and her sleeves. Let's get that done. Call that complete. Yeah, we're going to cut one here. Let's see, cut this for sure. And then see if it should be 8/8. Yeah, it should be 8/8. I don't know why it thinks maybe it's the onslaughts, but we have white stuff we want to do on 2, so I'm going 8/8 for sure. Yeah, Viskin, I say that a lot. Like, anytime in Magic where you're really struggling between a very, very close choice, just keep in mind that the closeness of that choice is a reflection of the closeness of the difference between win EV that's going to result from that choice. So let yourself off the hook a little bit, make a choice, and go with it. Yeah, one argument for cutting Crushing Disappointment is that the learn spells represent card draw. But I'm going to go with this, and again, we can make changes if we feel that. Let's play it, see how it plays, and come back in and maybe make some tweaks after some rubber hitting the road. Zendikar full art for Pocket Nebula. Alrighty. So wrong. Yeah, it really depends. I'm still not on that scene yet, Robert. Hang in there. I see it. Also, maybe I'll just send it back to you and wait till we actually play Flunk. Matt was worried that this one was too obscure a reference or too old a reference, but turns out I'm an old guy. So for me, this takes me back to like high school or whenever this movie came out. But here you go.
Yeah, well, you know what he knows how to do? Flunk you.
Flunk me, flunk him.
Yeah, triple Lindy. Maybe the triple Lindy meme should have been for we should have done a triple Lindy meme for Kaldheim. All right, now it's time to test it out. Radianware is up first. Radianware, are you ready? No worries if you're not. All right. I'm going to use the direct challenge system, which has been functioning much better for us than the friend challenge system. So we're going to do a challenge match, 40 card best of one. And what do you think, gang? How am I going to do this week? Let's do a par poll. I'd like to think my hair is safe because the deck looks really good, but stranger things have certainly happened than me losing 7 games with a good deck. I'm going to keep this. We don't have white yet, but we have Fnatic into Pledge Mage. That seems fine. Could have played Arrogant Poet because as a quasi-flyer, it's more guaranteed to get through on the next attack, so there's that. But I do like the lifelink here. And there you go. So if we played the Poet, we'd get in for 2. Now we have a choice to make. Funny. This felt like it was nearly a colorless card for us, but then I was like, well, it's not colorless. It does require white-black, and here you go. Can't quite cast it here. I'm going to go ahead and make this offer, though, so that hopefully the Pledge Mage can get through more reliably. I also feel like we just gotta keep attacking.
I'll turn this damn bus around. That'll end your precious little field trip pretty damn quick.
All right,
huh?
Found our white. Good time for it, too. We can combat Prof here and keep the damage flowing. If we find a land next turn, we get Poet plus Laureate. Poet Laureate? Are you kidding me? Come on. Now, it's all I want in life is to cast Poet into Laureate. Laureate is like, well, Poet Laureate is like historically a position, I think, in England that's like head poet of the country. But I don't know exactly what the definition of the word laureate is. I just associate it only with Poet Laureate. I get to do it! I get to do it! Poet Laureate, although I can do it after combat. And are we offering anything here? Maybe I don't send the Pledge Mage this turn and we go Poet Laureate and then next turn have Onslaught for the big turn. I mean, send Professor, right? You just mean don't trade this off, yeah? I didn't know, maybe you were worried about something, but yes. Just making sure we're on the same page. Sometimes I miss things that seem so obvious. I mean, like, it seems like streaming is just setting yourself up to look foolish in front of others. How many times have you all been waiting for me to see it? When's Ryan going to see it? When's Ryan going to see it? All right, he finally saw it. Okay. Yeah. Oh, we can't orator laureate because of the color requirements. I wouldn't be so married to poet laureate for the joke. I would play orator laureate if we could, but we can't. Now, if we can find if we get a basic land off the top, we've got another 2-spell turn behind this one. Mike doesn't want to overcommit when we're have this much of a we're this far ahead on board. Study break? Are you kidding me? Why not? Why the heck not? I think that's lethal with the +2, the 2 counters. Depending on what these are, yeah, there you go. Negate gets it done. But since we still cast the spell, we do get to fly, and I'm going to fly everything. And we will spread it out and make our Arrogant Poet 3 power. So that basically no great choices. Hey, look, it happened. Oh my God. All right. You got me, chat. Silver Cool's the flying colors. Let's put it on the Poet again. Really keep spreading out our action. I like that. Radiant Wear with a timely negate to prevent the insta-win, but can Radiant Wear prevent the follow-up turn win? We got a Onslaught saying we're going to make it tough on him. All right, I think the coffee is now going to be gone. That was a weak-ass sip anyway. I mean, the coffee was great. The quantity was weak-ass. Radiant's in the tank trying to figure out how to survive the match. That's good for us. American coffee known for what? Quantity, not quality? Unfortunately, yes. Hi, Charbucks. I'd like a venti latte with burnt coffee, please. What grinder did you get? Get a nice burr grinder? Strong does not equal good when it comes to coffee, though. Radiantware going high risk here. I'm not sure if Radiant has another land play or something to do for a green, but if Radiantware doesn't have the hexproof instant, this is not going to go great for Radiantware. Let's try Onslaught on the Quandrix and see if we can win target game. Might not work, but we'll try. Yeah, Snakeskin. Well, that was what I was worried about. We actually hate drafted one of those.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Not gonna lie, I like winning the first game, saving my hair right off the bat, and then relaxing the rest of the way. That was what we wanted to see. I'm going to keep running this deck as is, but we'll come back and revisit it. I think there are some arguable changes to make. Again, I think the deck quality is high enough that we don't need to sweat the exact power level differences between some of the options we were considering, but maybe we will go and try it. Yeah, that's what I said. Radiantware is that, like, Radiantware is playing to win and can't beat removal and is playing like we don't have it, which is what you got to do sometimes. It's like one of those spots where you almost want to tell your opponent, like, I know, but I have to. It's my only choice, right? I played against a guy one time who was so delighted when he, a former colleague of mine for Wizards, who, like, we were playing on Magic Online in an event, and is like, well, he's obviously representing the combat trick, but I can't beat it, so I gotta play like he doesn't have the combat trick. And I play it, he plays the combat trick, and is like, boom! Gotcha! I suckered you! Yeah! Right? He's like, that kind of attitude. Is like, dude, I would have done that if you had your hand face up. I would have hoped you misclicked. There was no other choice, right? So yeah, sometimes you're like, you make a play that looks silly, but it's because it's literally the only hope you have. All right, next up is Matty J. Or Mattige? I'm not sure. We'll have to ask Oppo where they're at on that pronunciation. I know where we're at on this hand. Sneep! Note that Killin is a little bit of a non-bow with the jukes, and that they don't actually get cheaper. God, Killin sucks. Oh yeah, see, didn't we play a poet? I missed Arrogant Poet. But I got another one here, so we'll do it next time. You make a case for not leading on Killin. We might be playing into a reject. They might have removal ready to pick it off. Given that we're not cheapening anything in our hand immediately, I actually kind of like just playing out the Leech Fanatic here and drawing out. Oh, because it's removal. The reason I'm calling it a non-bow specifically is that mostly Killin makes all of your removal cheaper, but it doesn't make this removal cheaper. That's all. Yeah, that was kind of my joke. Killin sucks because Umbral Juke's a non-bow. It doesn't suck. You're right. Non-bow is probably not the right word for it, Rob. But your mom's a non-bow too, so. All right. Well, Juke's an instant, so if we want it as a flyer, we can decide that later. But yes, I'm going to play a Juke either as a flyer or to force Oppo to sack. Looks like they're going to go for environmental sciences next turn, potentially. Maybe they just want to get that down later, but we'll see. Probably making a flyer, it looks like. Insulting moms, the easiest low-hanging joke fruit in the universe. Although once The Office hit, That's What She Said may have replaced mom jokes as the easiest low-hanging humor in the universe. Swamp Lore proving the point. We used to make That's What She Said jokes all the time at poker, and it became so non-stop. We had to set the bar super high. It was like, don't make a That's What She Said joke unless it is brilliant. You better be brilliant if you're going to drop a That's What She Said at our poker game at this point. Missing on land, but we can play Killin, or we can play Arrogant Poet and hold up the Lash. Again, Killin not making much cheaper here, although it would make Study Break cheaper. We could play Killin, hold up Study Break and Lash. Yes, thank you. That again, part of my if I forget a meme, you can remind me via channel points, and then I'll reject it, and you'll get your money back. So here you go. I missed it. Here it is.
Are you ever not going to fall for that?
And I am going to go the Killin route because it gives us Study Break. If Oppo goes 2 creatures, we'll really be happy to Study Break at the end of their turn. And if they go 1 creature that we can lash, we can still lash. That's the thing, Queen. They're too easy. It's like you're not that clever. You got to make sure. It was funny for a little bit, but then it was just too easy. And we all have to raise the bar on our That's What She Said jokes. Stuck on land, but the deck is holding up nicely in the face of it. A lot of open mana from Oppo we're going to send in and know that at least we have like an Umbral Juke if they come up with 1 creature. But I'm kind of expecting something to be picked off here. No? Makes me nervous about deploying more to the board, but again, we just have another Umbral Juke, so I'm going to hold on Juke or Break plus Malice. A lot of options here. We can play Mage Hunter's Onslaught for 2 mana, thanks to Killin. Yeah, I'm worried about Sweeper, but that's where Juke is really nice. There you go. That's what they were up to. But again, if that's what Oppo is doing, that's a lot of Value Town wheel spinning, but it's not stopping the pressure. Let's see if they come up with a Sweeper here. Like a Sweeper would be a nice answer. There's that Draconic Intervention. Is that what it's called? Did I just name a card correctly? That would be crazy. I never do that. But the Umbral Juke waiting to make another flyer is nice, because if they do manage a rare Sweeper or something. Instead, it's Expel for the Killin. Understandable. Powerful card. But see ya, Killin. Thanks for your service. Frosty!
All right, everyone, chill.
So with Lash of Malice at the ready, I actually just like making another flyer here and then lashing the Trickster. Mike and I on the same page there. Always feels good when I'm on the same page with Mike. Another land is nice to see. Gives us a Lash and a Poet. I suppose I can give you a Juke again.
Are you ever not going to fall for that?
You can make the case to play around the Draconic Intervention, but I'm going to risk it. I'm not going to play around the rare when deploying the Poet presents lethal with Study Break and Onslaught in hand. Oh, oops. Pocket Nebula. That's funny. Oppo learned something with that. Yeah, we also have a nice backup plan. If there is a sweeper here, we get to drop the Spectre and continue to threaten a clock in the air with Study Break threatening to go get Anatomy to make the threat even bigger. All right.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
I know we don't need the Anatomy, but there it was. Oh, too bad. Yeah, you know I love a good Cody deck at this point, but Fun Police had something to say to Cody. Ferocious Fox, right on. Oh, that was also First Timer. Where's Oppo? I want to know how Oppo would like me to pronounce their name. And Ferocious Fox, a little easier to pronounce. They're a new competitor up next as well. Good luck, Ferocious Fox. We'll see you on the other side. True digs the foxes. We got a million twos, none of them in the hand, but with a nice clean mana and a juke on 3, we're going to keep here. But this is a pretty low pressure hand. This could make a 2-1 flyer if we need it, though. Would love to draw us a 2. Yes! Fist Pump. Now this hand is great. Don't make me insult your mom again, Rob. I will do it. Yep, make a flyer and race seems correct. Normally we'd want to do this at instant speed, but if we make a flyer now, the orator can get in. But we have an opponent who is trying to meet us where we are in terms of being aggressive, so this is looking like a tougher match so far. We have Onslaught for a single creature play. Perfect. Ooh, and Lash following up next turn. I love it. Dream Draw would be something to do in conjunction with the Lash next turn before we rise. So we're a little behind in the race as it sits. We're going to catch up with the Lash, but they're about to play something else too. So a big play here could put us behind the race even with the Lash. Not a big play. And Shield Mage maybe even says we're going to do that instead. So let's start with an attack with both and then drop a Shield Mage. Shield Mage doesn't do anything for us we don't already have, right? This doesn't get ward or anything, right? Okay. This has haste? What has haste? Oh yeah, this has haste, yep. But not after combat, it doesn't really matter. Alright, we're gonna do what I said. Yeah, there you go. We had a blocker, so didn't have a good attack anyway. Ferocious Fox in the tank now, figuring out what to do. We got this Shield Mage. Are we blocking with said Shield Mage? Feels like maybe +1/+0 and dies into a 3/2. I don't think we are super punished for taking this, especially with the Rise and Lash in hand. So I'm just going to take. Yeah, if it's +3/+1 and trample, which we did see, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That, I mean, I suppose it could be two things that just kill us, but if so, I'm going to tip the cap to Fox and say, well played. Not the best draw. And I'm trying to make sure we don't lose. We can't win here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This has Vigilance, which is nice, but maybe we need to leave something like a 2/1 back since we're not lethal here. And because I am expecting they wouldn't attack with some kind of trick or whatever. So yeah, we could say Vigilance only. But I think that, yeah, I like Mike's line there. The we end up with a 2/2 back and a 3/3 back, but they still take some damage here. But we are probably gonna have to put the Shield Mage in harm's way coming up. What guy, Scotty? So now we're at, do we rise here at sorcery speed or hold up the Lash? I hate, well, I guess we have Lash plus Scry, which is not the worst then. Okay, I like Lash plus Scry. I'm happy we at least have a Scry out of it. So let's end the turn and hold up the Lash. That's fair. Should I have done... yeah, maybe I should not have let Oppo even untap with the Blood Age. We've got... But there's no spirits. So that doesn't matter, right?
Oh no, please! I can't read your crazy moon language!
Well, here, I'll bring up CBL, see if that helps you read. I didn't have it on, actually. So my plan is to put Orator on Historian, Shield Mage on General, nothing on Pledge Mage, and see what Oppo wants to do with the Lash in hand. I like sending the team. We're not really going to block the hall monitor. We don't have the bandwidth to do that. But Fox holding it back. All right, I'm going to do the block I said. Could block here, I suppose. The trouble is, the Pledge Mage they don't have to do anything to the Pledge Mage to make it threaten this. They can do something else and pump the Pledge Mage. You want to just take... Well, we don't have the monitor. I mean, we can... You want to preserve Lethal Crackback. I mean... Mike really wants to save the Lethal Crackback. All right, what's the disaster case? Because if they go +3, +2 here, I guess that's fine. Yeah, if they try for lethal, we have Lash to blow out a trick. So Mike wants to play it a little tighter than I was gonna because of the Lash protection. And that's a fair point. It does preserve the lethal, so let's go with that plan and see how it works. So I think Fox has some action, but is feeling our open mana, right? That why did we do it this way? We saw an Urza's Rage, but we actually took it, so let's start with I'm gonna let the Pledge Mage thing resolve, and then we're gonna look and see the new sitch. And yeah, so we gotta we could blow out we could take out the Pledge Mage and go to 1, or the Illusion, the Historian, and go to 3. I'm gonna go ahead and take out the Historian in case there's more behind. Shield Mage is such a beating at low life, because what do? You can't kill it without killing, taking 3. It's so harsh. All right, I'm remembering to scry. Good on me. Move that. I don't even need a stop, though. We're going to just play the Rise. if we need to. I don't think we need to. We should just win. Crushing Disappointment helps, gives us some security, so we get to, if they manage to stop 2 of this damage, we still get there. All right.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Close one, but we kept the streak going. All right, Street Rage is up next. Good game, Fox. Well, now we're stuck on a mulligan. We can't keep this. Mana a little rough here. All right, that looks good. And how greedy is Ryan gonna be? Pretty greedy, as usual. I'm gonna ditch and land and hope we draw some. And no, we can cast literally everything in our hand without this land, so... Well, this is why someone might make an argument that it is, that we lose our ability to cast any top end we draw. We don't have sciences in the board. And here we go. This is a little rough, but maybe they'll give us something to lash. I'm not going to study break anything. We're going to need to draw some land naturally here.
I'll turn this damn bus around. That'll end your precious little field trip pretty damn quick, huh?
Land. All right. Back in business. I have a feeling this Pledge Mage is going to die a horrible death quickly, but at least we're casting spells again. Maybe it won't. Maybe they'll just play some stuff. All right. Well, we could tap them down and fly the Pledge Mage. But just running out the... Oh, yeah, I didn't do the flunk meme. Hold on. I owe you a meme. So many memes.
Yeah, well, you know what he knows how to do? Flunk you.
Flunk me, flunk him.
And don't love this spot, but I'm going to go with the flyer here and pass. And we look to take a big smack in this direction. Study break on defense plus lash seems fine. Caddyshack, not close. What are we learning here? I guess we are going to get expanded anatomy and try to get big enough to do some blocking. I guess we could take a summoning and get on board further. But I feel like a large 4/4 might be better than the Inkling. Mike likes the Inkling. Inkling just doesn't trade well with all this stuff, whereas a 4/4 looks great to me on this board. So I'm going to go with my gut and anatomy. Does die into a counter, that's fair. Are we lashing that? I'm going to take one. We might lash before untapping, but I'm going to see if there's a better target. Well, is it going... I mean... Trouble, but it's 4/4. If it was, even if the Inkling made a 2/2, I would take it. But a 2/1 and a 2/2, 2-for-1, the Pugilist. That's my problem. Also, Pugilist is about to get huge. Probably just need to rise it at some point if we get there. If we're lucky enough. I'm gonna decline to lash here. And, well, we could anatomy and hold up lash, and we even get the vigilance. I'm going to do that. It's risky, Mike, but at least we have a creature that, as it sits, holds off everything on Oppo's board. Hey, Ugin, thanks for the follow. And there's the problem. That's what Mike was afraid of. I stand by my reasoning, but this was the risk we took on. And is there anything to get? Like, we can only lash a token here. Might be worth it. Would you have done it, though, Mike? Mike says mulling the swamp hurt, which, of course, is true in retrospect, but I'm curious if Mike disagreed with the bottoming of the swamp. Not much to do here. I mean, I guess I could... Double lash lets us kill the Pugilist before it gets big. Maybe I just need to hold on to the double lash for that and take this. Are we just... We're not just dead. We're getting close. But I've got to get rid of this Pugilist, and I'm going to do it now.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
Kind of need removal for the Karok, though, and need... Yeah, we're just so far behind now. Yipe! And that's gonna do it. We have no play that isn't an obvious swing away. All we could do is, like, not play anything and somehow hope Rach would not attack in. But I'm gonna just play this and scoop it up. All right, now chat is on board, thanks to Rach. Good game, Rachel. I hope to take them from you shortly, Manthrill. Punish the doubters. Nice opener. Fanatic into Juke into, or Fanatic into Pledge Mage, maybe, we'll see. A lot of options. So we could go Leech Fanatic. We can also go Orator into Flyer to give flying early. Not sure what DT is going to show. Interesting choice. I'll go with the Orator, and then we have Juke for a Flyer if we want it. Rejected.
Mitchell on the emphatic rejection.
I like just juking away the guide here. Let's get rid of it. Did it not have volume? Try that one again.
Mitchell on the emphatic rejection.
It's got some weird stuff going on. Did that get audio for you? I never get audio, so it's hard for me to tell. All right, Pledge Mage, yeah. Oh, I see. I just misinterpreted the comment. Well, we were disciplined and played 17 lands, struggling. The deck has been humming, except when we came up a little short on land. We're a little stuck again. Let's see if we can get unstuck.
I'll turn this damn bus around. That'll end your precious little field trip pretty damn quick, huh?
All right, unstuck indeed. Let's see. All they can do is play cards to make Flunk better, right? So, 7 minus 4 is 3. Can get the Zoomancy. We can still Fanatic. We did see Killin, and I think I didn't do the meme, so I probably owe you a Killin meme too here.
Killing me softly with his soul. Killing me softly.
Squirrel.
How about Onslaught the Colony and Crash In again? We could also just Combat Prof. Yeah, I think Onslaught Colony, although we're going to face something pretty huge here, but we have Rise for that. Let's do that. Oh, man. I'm going to go flying and offer it for the squirrel. Squirrel has blocks here, but we'll offer. I finally got caught up on the avalanche of memes from Prof. Wright. You can thank Prof for much of these. Really hoping for a land so we could take out the 4/4, but Combat Prof hold up Lash is not the worst. Could even go send in and Fnatic trade Lash plus Fnatic for the 4/4. But I would rather just play it. We're fine. There's no need to get aggressive here. We can wait. DT may be thinking whether or not they are trying to attack here. Are they looking to... Oh, interesting. So, target deals damage equals power. So the Lash doesn't help us at all here. We can't Lash either thing to stop it from happening. So it just dies. They got us. DT probably smelling the Lash, given the pauses here. But now we have a target for our Lash. Obviously not going to do it now because of the ward, but we have even without land, we have something to do next turn. But I prefer land, Rise the 4/4. That would be the ideal play. Crushing Disappointment is a medium option. The trouble is we cast it, we find land, we still can't Lash the Aerialist. So I'm on Lash the Aerialist and stay on the ground and hold here. Funny, it just occurred to me that Killin cancels out Ward 2.
All right, everyone, chill.
All right, finally. No guarantees this is going to land. They got a card and open mana, but hopefully we get to Rise this 4/4 now, and then we can Disappoint later. Mike ran out of the cards. Fair. Fair. Take that, I don't know. What do we want? Probably just a Inkling Summoning to be able to block in the air. Seems fine. Ooh, Pop Quiz is good. I was like, I feel like we're ahead here.
All right, pop quiz.
Pop quiz.
Pop quiz.
Pop quiz. Hot
Now
shot.
what do you do?
What do you do?
I was feeling like we were ahead because of our Crushing Disappointment, and then Pop Quiz kind of brought it all even again. Also note that, like, Rise was one of our best kill anything removal spells. We do have 2 more, well, and both of our Mage Hunter's Onslaughts are gone, so our ability to deal with a big Fractal Summoning is minimal now. But now we can go Inkling Summoning and Arrogant Poet and have all sorts of blocks to consider, plus the Crushing Disappointment behind. Yeah, it wouldn't work that way, I guess. But if the removal spell were more expensive, it would, right? If it were like a 3-mana removal spell, the whole Killin, subtract ward would work, but not if the spell is that cheap on its own. This is easier now that I've alphabetized my my memes.
Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet.
At 14, this is an interesting test from Oppo. Mike says take it at 14. I'm inclined to agree for one more turn because we can Crushing Disappoint. We go to 10, then go to 8, but draw an extra card and really have some options. It's true we can crack back with the Fanatic for life. All right, that's interesting. Speaking of Killin, we can Crushing first. Let's Crush and then see what we find. Maybe we go Prof instead of Killin here. And we can find some learning. Or although I shouldn't have played that land, we may actually wanted to have learned and rummaged. But I still think we have stuff in the board we want. But I need to not be hasty about playing lands, given that learn can rummage. Anatomy is going to be better for us here than Prophecy. Yeah, next turn we get Killin Anatomy. And here, what are we offering? Leech Fanatic to gain some life back. If we want to do that. Mike says no. We can send this and still offer lots of double blocks. I kind of like... You want the Anatomy on here? Well, I just figured Anatomy is going to go on Killin, but I suppose spreading it around is good too. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I could have Killin first and done the Prof Anatomy next turn. Well, what about... something, you want to send the Inkling? I don't know. Or just on full defense? Yeah, they might not block. I wouldn't block it if I were, but maybe they would. Yeah, Mike is on Just Hold, but I'm not the only one who's interested in gaining some life and offering the trade. I also just don't like being at 8 against the crackback attack. I'm gonna send it, Mike. That's my gut. Well, if I'm blocking here, it's a triple block on the 4/4. Mike likes Flyer on Trickster. I like, if we go for blocking the 4/4, playing around the book. Playing around one piece of bounce. There's some bounce for blue in the set. Some of it's sorcery speed, though. Just so. Well, we can Anatomy up the Fanatic still, send it in, and they have to trade one of their 4/4s if they want to trade with it, and then we can Killin, or we can Killin to make the Anatomy cheap. But it doesn't matter. We don't have the mana to do anything else. We don't have Scry mana or anything. Yeah, I like Anatomy on the Fnatic and force a trade here of some kind, because they can't double block with their non-4s and get that trade. I'm going to hold the land, though, now because of rummage potential.
Killing me softly with his song. Killing me softly.
Floody floods. Although not statistically, like we're over halfway through our library. We are an appropriate quantity of lands in here. Sending Ink Duelist would be just a trade for a pest. That's no good. So we're going to say no attacks. I guess I could send Poet, and but no, the flyer blocker. They have Secret Reach here, so we're not doing anything. Double Tendrils, powerful deck. Or did they get the Tendrils back? No, there it is. Double Tendrils, yep. Well, we're going for it now, and if this is a blowout, we're in super big trouble, but interesting non-attack from the 1/1, given that I don't want to block it with either of these, but... everything... all reach is secret now. I mean, certainly you don't think Squirrel, like, oh, Squirrel is gonna, like, Squirrel has reach. All right. Oppo, you did it. Chat gets another one. What do you know? 3-0 to 3-2. This never happens. What an unusual result for Friday. Huh. Glad something new is happening for once. Good game, Deep Thought. I was, drew too many lands. Not that I flooded, but could not find action there at the end of the game. I don't think I got too cocky today. I celebrated my wins, but was not like in your face, I'm going to 7-0 you or anything. We certainly liked the deck at least. All right, I got 2 more chances to secure the week win. Heck, chat can still go... no, you can't go shopping. I've at least eliminated shopping, but I would like the week. Papa's up next. This is where I'm taking the week, though. Sorry, Papa. You're going down. This week is mine. That's a good opener. Well, I was saying that it felt like we were the only ones in Silver Quill, but that it was so open that I kind of expected somebody else to get into it. Maybe Papa did? Maybe Papa was in it the whole way and it was just densely available color. But there you go. That's what I kind of figured. See, this is like, looks to me like somebody is like, well, I gotta splash some silver quill. It's too wide open. Maybe Pledge Mage next, so we can Mage Hunters for flying or something, or Lifelink if it makes it for free. I guess we go with the Laureate to keep the fly-in happening. No blocks. This could hurt, though. As, like, Reflective Golem with no blocks could be like, and a whole bunch of pain for you. Well, let's send, and then decide. Onslaught the Golem is where I'm at, but we don't need to do it before combat, right? Let's see if they do anything mid-combat. A lot of open mana here. That makes me nervous, but we're going to do this play. True likes play Pledge Mage. Oh, that's fair. Let's consider that angle too. I was kind of... I was on the Onslaught plan, but Pledge Mage... If it were better set up, like I guess we draw a 2-drop, we would have a 2-turn, potentially 2-turn play. Yeah, but I'm with Mike. The reason why I was on Onslaught is just this is a nerve-wracking card for them to, like, if they have 5 mana, then they can do the +3/+1 and duplicate it, which is a huge chunk of damage. I suppose we could leave up Umbral Juke for that, but I'm just going to go for it. Let's kill this thing, get it off the table if we can. All right. An expensive 1-for-1, effectively. But they didn't get any value out of their extra mana, so it was actually a even 1-for-1. We created 4 mana for 4 mana there, basically. It's a feel bad, but if you go in understanding that you're at least trading for something, it can make you feel better about it. The real blowout is when they trade for your removal with something that leaves something behind, like if they've gotten the +1/+1 counter out of it or something. Well, now we're flooding a bit. This is too much mana for this deck, or at least without some Learn. Could use some Learn. Pledge Mage over Juke, though, although we could flash in a Juke to do some blocking. But yeah, I think we're just still getting in. I don't know what... This is a tough one. If we do this, we're kind of blocking, although we could Juke and end up with a lot of the life next turn. So let's do this and see about potentially getting 5 life back off a Juke, Lifelink, Orator play next turn. Still got the Golem threatening to just end the game, though. Like, I kind of am not going to play around it, I don't think, but this is another tough spot for us. You want to block? We might have to, because Pump is like GG. And if it's +3/+1, single block is GG. Just hit the other two. Although the Golem has to be one of the targets. I actually like putting this in front of the golem, since it has to be one of the single targets, and then a single pump spell doesn't get us. It goes against the plan of getting a lot of life back the other way, but it feels too risky to risk like literally just losing the game here. Oh, trample. Yeah, 3-1. The trample still gets there, huh? I forgot the trample. That's fair. So maybe we're supposed to make him have it, but it feels like if I don't block, we lose, honestly. But if trample is the issue, so there's 6 points of trample that we can't solve. So like if it's a doubled up enthusiastic study, we're at a virtual 7 right off the bat, because if we block everything and it all gets trample, we still get wrecked. Yeah, we're not sure they did, JC. I was going to mention that. It's an unusual thing to be like splashing an enthusiastic study. It feels like more they would splash hard line red removal. Beaming Defiance would be lethal with no blocks, but not lethal with 1 block. If it were study, we would already see it, though, right? This is not a study situation, right? So yeah, we're back to Mike's suggestion of Orator on Guide to play around +2/+2, but not trying to play around +3/+1 and trample. That I don't think we can beat that. If Papa is splashing +3/+1 and trample, salute, and we try to win in the final game. Would love something to do alongside the juke next turn with 5 mana, 6 soon to be had, so like a potent 3-drop of some kind. I guess we don't have those, but Flunk, Study Break would be all right. Lash of Malice I would even take. We knew there were a million of those going around, right? Let's see what the lesson that comes back from this is. That's the scary part. Anatomy, interesting. Anatomy, maybe we make them pay and double it, and then we juke to sack one. And then they sack the Pilgrim, and Golem still gets in there as a 4/5, because we can't do much about that yet. We can play the Campus. Yeah, I may as well just juke now, because the result is the same, right? Like, if we, quote, wait. If we wait, they're just going to Anatomy this, double it, and then sack the Pilgrim anyway. So all we would be doing by waiting is making Papa spend 2 mana that they don't have to spend if they don't have somewhere to put it. Let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, I suppose they can play a land and a 2-drop and still get a replacement place for the dupes. But let's get some life back for sure. We could also, yeah, we just have to do it now. Really? Oh, you may choose. I thought it was they had to choose a different target. Well, still gonna do it. Mage Hunter's Onslaught off the top would get us out of it. And getting to 9 keeps us at 3. Yeah, so that was an interesting spot. We could have made him move it elsewhere. It would have been kind of ends up in a similar place, although I think maybe the other line was better because we end up with a smaller golem, right? But I misread my card. I didn't do my reading. I didn't think this was a possible result. If I had considered this as the possible result, I think I would go with a line where we do that on their turn and still end up at 3, but with a 4 or 5 instead of this current situation we're in. Combat Prof doesn't really do anything for us. We just are chumping now. I will put up an upkeep stop, though, now. Good suggestion, Robert. Let's start doing that now. Might be a little late for it, but we can start doing that now. Interesting choice of what to chump. I mean, Pledge Mage as a lifelinker, obviously Combat Prof in a vacuum, which I owe you actually a meme on, is a more powerful card. But,
welcome, Professor.
Lifelink is real.
Good afternoon, Dr. Jones.
That's Professor Snape.
Give me some skin, bruh.
No, we have like no 3 drops. Really, just no 3 drops. But we have some 2 drops. Yeah, that's true. Keeping the prof gives us an attack. All right, you sold me. We'll do it this way. So, should we scry? If we do, we're looking at needing a 2 or a 3 that we care about, and that would be Umbral Juke. Sorry, I forgot. We do have Umbral Juke. But we do have Rise and Mage Hunter's Onslaught, so it's pretty similar, because we either take one shot... No, we should just draw, because we have 3 cards we could draw. Umbral Juke, Rise, and... the Onslaught, right? So if we scry, we give ourselves 1 out. If we don't scry, we have 3 outs. Not one of our outs. But
your friend here is only mostly dead.
let's see. That's annoying. But what's really annoying is that we have to chump with the prof, and I'm not sure how we get there from here. We really need Rise now, so we can, like, get 2-spelled action, basically. Why does it play out this way every damn time? With the 3-0 into 3-3. Study break would be great. Yep. I would take a study break. That's that guiding voice that I hated passing. We took something great, though, I remember. How are we, Dobbs? Do they have something known they're going to go get? I mean, this has Summoning Sickness, right? But, I mean, we're not going to win this. But I don't think we're dead on board. I'm not going to run the mostly meme because I think we are just straight up dead now. Like, I can't see how we win this. There's just no path to victory anymore. Starts with a good scry, though. Probably starts with a scry into Study Break. And then Study Break keeps us alive into something from our sideboard, and then we draw into something else. No, we don't have a Wrath. That's why I think it's over. If we had a Wrath, I would think we had a chance. We actually passed one. There was that crappy 6 mana 2 white one, which we could cast right now and would save us, but it doesn't seem like a good card. I counted exactly 4, Scotty. I don't know what you're talking about. You go back and do your math again. Crushing Disappointment into double Study Break. Sure. I guess that's where it starts. Wait. Oh. So many memes, it's not... There we go, there we go.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
It's showtime.
Let's see. What do we need? We need too much to scry here. Now, the trouble is, like, scry is dead. Scry is death. The only crazy-ass out we had was drawing into the 4-mana draw spell, drawing 2 pieces of action, and basically casting them both. So we needed like a creature and a Study Break off of a draw 2, and then we could have survived the turn. So we did not have the mana to scry. Scrying was GG. Not scrying gave us this crazy long shot to not GG, but you played your outs, right? All right. Let's move on and go to the rubber match. Good job, Papa. You're keeping hope alive for chat this week after I started 3-0. What a crazy occurrence. I've never seen that before. How unusual. Weird that I could go from 3-0 to 3-3. Who would have thought such a thing would even be statistically possible? Good game, Papa. My deck has really been letting me down these last 3 games. Just can't quite get the traction I need to bring it home. But it's all going to change now, and Magic Star is going to eat some Silver Quill aggro. Fun week so far, chat. As much as I would like to 7-0 you every time, it's always interesting when it comes down to the final game, too. I'm also on the play again. I think this is the first time I'm back on the play, which could be a big deal. You'd have to go back and look, but I feel like in my 3 losses, I either mulliganed and or was on the draw, which has hurt me a bit. Orator going here, into Umbral Juke Flyer, into Orator Study Break would be great. Magic Star's cramming and looking to get some pests. We're going to look to fly above them. I don't even really need to do this now, I guess. There's nothing blocking. I can at least wait. It's possible they play something we want to kill. I was instinctively going to play it because I figured we might need to make the Orator fly over a blocker, but no blockers to fly over, so we can wait. One reason not to wait is the blue mana and counter spells, but I'm going to risk it. True says play other Orator. That's interesting, but I do like using all the mana here, given that we might go Study Break Orator next turn if we draw land. So obviously we are going for the flyer here. Not going to make him sacrifice a pest. All right, Lash is interesting. We get Orator number 2 plus Lash up. We don't need to Study Break these duders anyway to get in our attack. eBay would know Scani, but there's got to be. There's an aftermarket for anything of any value. Ooh, gonna get ya. Gonna get ya. One and a half for one there. And we found some more land. That's good. We could Study Break, but there's not really anything I know to go get with it, and we don't need to complete this attack anyway. So let's may do it after at the end of their turn then, and it will help us understand what to get also. One single 5-mana low-impact creature. Maybe? That would be the dream. A ton of open mana, not the dream, but I'm not going to Study Break. We could, just to kind of like do some learning, but I think I'm going to make Magic Star do something to stop what we're doing before I fire off a Study Break for very little value. Give me a break, indeed. Book? Maybe. Yep. Kill the flyer. Makes sense. We have Expanded Anatomy. We have Scry. And we have Inkling. I didn't, like, did you want to Study Break just to keep the action going? I was like, we had action. We're attacking for 6 a turn, and Magic Star's not doing anything about it? Oh, that's a good point. We don't have the triggers yet. So we can Study Break now to avoid... Well, I don't care. Who cares? Like, let them block. If they want to block, that's fine. Whatever. Unless you think they're going to pump and punish us for with a pump. I'm going to say go for it. Uh-oh. Gonna get punished with a pump, it looks like. Good call, Mike. Really? You just want to do it for damage? I'm fine letting him chump, if that's what it is. What I don't want is to lose to a pump spell. But it's still a 1-for-1 if that happens, and we're in a good spot. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. Get to see what the lesson is, but we haven't lost a creature. And if they come back with, yeah, something like that, we get to start making good use of these study breaks. Study break into land, into Shield Mage would be amazing. And we will go summoning so that we have more aggression to play if we don't find a land. And we can get up in the air again, although we don't need it now, obviously. We can go Poet and have the other study break. I like that. Now I'm expecting the big elemental summoning. We tap down the 2 big summons. Yep, Poet meme, thank you.
Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet.
I think that's good for us. Let's see what maybe they have a 2-drop that they can drop in case of not drawing something extra good. But this is looking fine for us right now. We'll take that. Yeah, I think that's now lethal. I gotcha, chat.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
All right. Another fun event. Thank you so much, everybody who participated. Thank you so much to my awesome mods who make all of this happen. Mama Hat, especially. Thank you so much, Mama Hat. If anybody else needs a shout out that I'm not giving one to, I know David's been stepping up a bit too, but really Mama and Hat help make this show happen every Friday. So thank you so much, especially to you two, but to everybody behind the scenes helping to make this stream a fun place to be. Thank you so much. I will update the record so we have the official count. Another fun, close week. Darn it, I thought I was going to, like, 7-0 you again and just get to, you all have to cut your hair now. But no. Chat came back as always and made it super close. Prof wants an explosive welcome. Sure, we maybe as a reward here, I'm going to go through and make sure you've seen every single... Oh, wait, here's one in the wrong place. So I think I have one more meme than I thought. All right, we're going to get nuts. We're going to get nuts. This is the campus meme extravaganza, alphabetically, through Strixhaven.
Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Me llamo T-Bone, la araña discoteca.
Bring in the bookworm.
Why are there so many?
San Diego's high school football rule!
Tomorrow you will catch it.
You can check my alphabetization.
Expelled! Expelled! Expelled!
What can I say except you're welcome?
I'll turn this damn bus around. That'll end your precious little field trip pretty damn quick, huh?
All right, everyone, chill.
And in conclusion, may I please remind you that it does not say RSVP on the Statue of Liberty.
Governor Bush? Strategery.
Yeah, well, you know what he knows how to do? Flunk you.
Flunk me, flunk him.
You're short, your belly button sticks out too far, and you're a terrible burden on your poor mother.
Oh, you guys made me eat.
Are you ever not going to fall for that?
Killing me softly with his song, killing me softly.
Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 3.
Buenos dias, children.
All right, pop quiz.
Pop quiz.
Pop quiz.
Pop quiz, hot
Now,
shot.
what do you do?
What do you do? What do you do?
Welcome, Professor.
You're the pop quiz.
Good afternoon, Dr. Jones.
That's Professor Snape.
Give me some skin, bruv. Mitchell on the emphatic rejection.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
It's showtime.
What will be, will be.
Back-to-back Winona Ryder memes.
Squirrel.
I like that one. It's the perfect length for the joke.
Please welcome our valedictorian, Lisa Simpson. She will be attending Yale. I mean, hot dog on a stick management camp.
Don't know about the future.
And there you go. A meme explosion. I suppose this makes up for the Eldraine set that had, like, none. But, to be clear, you know how many of those I made? I know a bunch of you know how many of those I made. 0. Thank you, Prof, Duncan, and Hat. I think those are the only 3 who contributed to that set. If there's a 4th person who sent me a meme that got slipped in and I didn't thank you, I'm sorry. But I believe that is all from Hat, Duncan, and Prof Wright, so you can thank them. And meanwhile, I haven't even said goodbye to YouTube yet. Well, YouTube, there's all the memes I got. I hope you liked them. Hope you had fun this week. I sure did. I always have a lot more fun when I secure my hair early, and then things can get interesting about who wins the week. You're not getting this ponytail this week. This bad boy stays on my head. But maybe next week. Squirrel redeemed. Need the squirrel again. All right. I can do that. Except I got to go over here. Let's see. Did I leave any of them on? How about that? I played 30 memes and turned them all off. You should applaud me just for that.
Squirrel!
All right, we're going to raid Quarter Calls in just a second here, but I am going to say goodbye to YouTube friends. Thank you so much for hanging out. Another good fun week. We'll catch you next week. Catch you next video. Take care. Have a great weekend. See you, YouTube friends.